You look successful, you're holding everything together, people depend on you and you never let them down. So, why do you still feel exhausted? Why does resting make you feel guilty? And why do compliments never quite land? Now, if any of that sounds familiar, this is the hidden emotional cost of being a high functioning woman. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly where it comes from and what actually resolves it. So let's begin by understanding what is high functioning anxiety. High functioning anxiety is not an official medical diagnosis. It is a non-clinical term that is used to describe someone who looks completely fine on the outside while having constant anxiety on the inside. Now, people with this sort of a trait often excels at work and school and are highly reliable, but internally they battle a relentless mind, constant self-criticism and fear of failure. A quick disclaimer here, because this matters to me. I'm a certified shadow work facilitator and coach and not a licensed therapist. Everything here in this video is for your self-reflection and education purposes. If you're someone who is dealing with untreated anxiety, trauma, depression, please use this along with professional support and not instead of it. Moving on, here is the strange part. With most anxiety, people tend to pull back. They avoid things, they freeze. But with high functioning anxiety, it runs in the reverse. Instead of avoiding the fear, you outwork it. You stay one step ahead of every deadline. You triple check that mail before hitting that send button. From the outside, it looks like discipline. Sometimes it looks like ambition. It also looks like, oh, she's just really put together. Now let's put her face to it and let's call her Maya. Maya is the go-to person at work. She's the friend that everyone calls for advice, and she hasn't missed a deadline in 5 years. But most nights, Maya is lying awake in her bed, mentally replaying her to-do list, convinced that if she slows down, even slightly, everything falls apart. Now, Maya is not lazy, broken, or too sensitive. She's only living with a nervous system that is stuck on a low-grade on position, and the world trained her to call that being a hard worker. People living with this pattern often overthink everything. They fear making mistakes, they feel responsible for everyone, they fear disappointing people around them, they chase perfection, they look completely calm while feeling overwhelmed inside. So why does this happen? Why do high functioning women suffer in silence? Many of us grew up learning the same thing, same unspoken rules. Be nice, don't complain, take care of everyone, work harder, don't ask for help. Sociologist Ali Hochschild gave this a name decades ago, and that's emotional labor, the invisible work of managing your own feelings and everyone else's on top of everything that you're already doing. And it stays hidden for a few specific reasons. The behavior that gets rewarded is staying late, never disappointing anyone, never dropping the ball. And that's not punished, it is praised. So the very thing that is quietly draining you is the same thing that is earning you applause. And admitting it can feel like betraying your own identity. If you are someone who've built yourself around this being the strong one, and saying that I'm struggling, it's going to feel like a failure. Now you put that together and you get a very specific kind of an exhaustion. You are completely surrounded by people while still feeling completely alone in what you are carrying. And over time, achievement quietly becomes your identity, productivity becomes your self-worth, and somewhere in there along the way you stop asking yourself that one question that actually matters the most: what do I feel? Here, I want you to pause and answer an yes and no to this. Have you ever felt guilty for resting? In a minute, I'm going to walk you through the mask that most high functioning women wear, and there is this one particular that almost nobody recognizes in themselves. Stay with me. Now, in shadow work, Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung gave us a useful pair of words: the persona and the shadow. So let's understand what's the persona. The persona is the masks that the ego builds to stay safe and accepted, and shadow is everything that is pushed underneath to keep that mask in place. The anger that you were not allowed to feel, the rest that you didn't think that you earned, and also the no that you swallowed. So to put simply, if this is totally a new idea for you, shadow work just means that getting curious about those parts of yourself that you learned to hide instead of judging them. They are not flaws to fix, they are information. And most high functioning women are not just wearing one mask, they are basically wearing several of them. Let's understand a few of them now. Mask 1, the strong one. I'll handle it, even while I'm breaking. The word fine almost comes out automatically. When someone asks, oh, how are you doing? And it is not really lying, it is a reflex. Marks 2, the perfectionist. Nothing feels good enough. Not because she wants perfection all the time, but because mistakes feels unsafe. A great result doesn't feel like relief. It feels like, okay, now I have to do that once again or do that again. Marks 3, the people pleaser. She says yes even when she desperately means to say no, and then she quietly reasons it later. Mask 4, the caregiver. Everyone knows her as the supportive one, the one who gives incredible advices, but nobody, almost no one asks who supports her. Asking for help almost feels like unnatural. Mask 5, the achiever. The one almost nobody catches in themselves. Every goal reached creates the next one. Staying constantly busy isn't really about getting things done, it is about avoiding silence. Because in that silence, the feelings that she had been outrunning the all day have now a room to catch up to her. Now, none of these masks make you fake, or none of them are your flaws. They are basically intelligent adaptations that kept you safe, that kept you loved and controlled at some point in your life. And shadow work is not about ripping that mask off, it is about meeting those parts of yourself, meeting what's underneath it on your own terms. And if this is something that is hitting real, just stay with me, because the next part is the one that actually going to help you understand in a more better way. So let's understand this. Living in survival mode doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like feeling guilty while watching Netflix, while checking that work email at midnight, carrying everyone else's emotion, a mind that just won't go quiet, never quite really celebrating your own wins. And here is the part that almost nobody says out loud. The problem was not your ambition. It was never your ambition. The problem was your ambition, what your ambition has been trying to protect you from feeling. Now let's understand where these patterns come from, where it begins. These patterns rarely start at work. For women, they start much earlier, into their childhood, in beliefs that got written in the childhood and never really got reread, like beliefs like I'll be loved if I am useful, I have to be perfect, I can't disappoint people, I have to earn my own worth. In shadow work, we would say that the shadow was formed right there, in family dynamics, in what got rewarded there and what got punished. And those early adaptations made complete sense for that child who needed them, but they just weren't built for the adult who is carrying them now. So, how to heal this? Let's understand how emotional resilience can change everything here. Now, healing here doesn't mean becoming less ambitious. It means you no longer need anxiety to stay successful. You no longer need perfection to feel worthy. You no longer need people pleasing to make yourself feel loved. Real emotional resilience is not about feeling any less, it is about being able to feel something hard in greater depth without performing your way out of it immediately. So in practice, it looks like you're naming the mask in the moment, you're just sitting silently noticing and then realizing, oh, this is my strong woman mask talking right now. Now that tiny bit of awareness starts to loosen its grip. It's like letting rest exist without earning it. Rest is not a reward for finishing everything. It is a basic need. It is like everything else. It is like eating or breathing. I want you to start by practicing small low stakes no's. You don't have to just overhaul your whole life overnight. Just start by setting that one boundary this week. Let your body catch up, because anxiety lives in your body. It is not just only in your mind. Slow breathing, stretching, sitting in silence for 2 minutes can bring your nervous system down from the state of high alert. Allow yourself to let one person see behind that mask. It could be a friend, a partner, a therapist, and you don't have to perform strength for everyone all the time. And in my work with clients, and this is the place which is the actual turning point, not doing more, but finally meeting those parts of themselves that they had been managing instead of feeling. Now here is a real shadow work prompt for you to try tonight. Get a notebook and a pen and write at the top, who am I when I am not achieving? Then just sit with it, no editing, no judging, just observing what comes up. That single question can show you exactly how your identity has got tired to performing instead of just being. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn love. You don't have to earn your right to exist. You were never meant to carry everyone else's needs or the whole world just to prove that you deserved a place in it. Sometimes the strongest woman in the room is the one who simply allows herself to feel. And if this is something that meets you somewhere real, I want you to comment the word authority below, and I want you to know that you are here. And if you're someone who is ready to go deeper into your patterns, your mask, understand your shadows, the shadow work behind the real lasting confidence, subscribe to this channel, because I'm sharing the tools for emotional resilience and also shadow work that actually help you get under the surface. And one last thing, if any of this feels heavier than you can carry on your own, please consider talking to a therapist, counselor, coach. Needing support isn't weakness, it's wisdom. I'll see you in the next one.